Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Warlord TV. Thank you all for being here. Dynamite was first in the house, followed by Unknown Vector, and Domeseeker was coming up for third place for the trifecta. So if you had guessed Dynamite, Unknown Vector, and Domeseeker, you win. How you all doing? Window Liquor, thank you for being here. Salty Dog. And Sherman Sales is in the house. Thank you all for being here. Why the American madness? Why do Americans? We'll focus on Americans. Later on, we may do other people at some point in the future. But why do Americans tend to support those who are not supporting them? Why do we go against things that are our core values? And I'm going to give some examples. Let me know what your opinion is in the chat later on. Is it groupthink? Is it doublespeak? Is it simple misinformation that is fed to the masses by the mainstream media? We're going to break this down today by left versus right. And if you're a lefty, it's okay. This is for you too. If you're on the right side, this is for you too. This is for everybody because it affects everybody and it happens on all sides. All right. We'll start out with current events, left versus right. Left is pro-Palestine, and the right is pro-Israel, predominantly in the mainstream media. And you have to ask yourself why. Why? And you see conservatives ask it sometime. They're like, oh, look, these LGBT for free Palestine. What do you think they would do to you if you were on the ground in Palestine? They'd chunk you off a building. They would stone you, this, that, and the other. Yes, you are predominantly correct if you are on that line of thinking, because Palestinian territories are majority Islamic. All right. And yes, the Rainbow Mafia is less than welcome in Islamic runs areas, communities, countries, whatever you may want, however you want to frame it. All right. And yet the left will be like, we're pro-Palestine, we're pro-Islam. The right, they'll be pro-Israel. Yet Israel is one of the wokest governments on the planet. So you see the paradigm there. Both sides are supporting sides that have views and opinions that support the other side. Weird. Let's continue. Left, Russia bad. Right, Russia bad. Here is the one vectoring anomaly where things just come together. Now, I have this to say, in my opinion. When the left in this country says someone bad and the right says someone bad and the government says someone bad, you have just entered the twilight zone, my friend. You need to watch yourself because there's a reason we never agree on anything. All right. But we'll get back to that later on tonight when it comes to we'll get deeper into that on the 8 o'clock stream about Putin's threat or / warning for the West. But the left, Russia bad. It makes sense. It makes sense because the Ukraine, as we know it, is somewhat corrupt-ish, has been labeled one of the most corrupt countries in the world by some agencies and governments. It is also pretty woke. It's pretty woke. So it makes sense that the left say Russia bad. But the right say it too. And yet the Ukrainian government are the ones that are shutting down churches, arresting preachers, and are woke AF. Okay? So the fact that those two line up, agree, Russia bad, something bigger is afoot. All right. The left, defund the police. The left are always defund the police. And yet they're anti-Second Amendment. We don't want the government to protect us. And we don't want the government to allow us to protect ourselves. That's weird. That's just weird. All right. The right, fund the police, and yet they're pro-Second Amendment. When the police are going to be the ones who infringe upon your Second Amendment when they're given the orders to. if you're pro-Second Amendment and your house is full of boomsticks, freedom seas, whatever you would like to call it, why do you need the police? The left, progressive liberalism. The right, conservative. The left, being progressive liberalism for the most part, we're generally stereotyping here today, are pro-Islam for the most part. Whereas Islam itself is hyper conservative. I mean, you always hear about people complaining, human rights groups complaining, they don't allow women to drive in this country. They oppress women in that country. They oppress minorities. They oppress the LGBT mafia. They throw people off of rooftops. They hang people in the public square. Those are pretty hardcore conservative values, and yet the left supports them. The right, on the other hand, tends to be anti-Islam, and yet will sit there and complain over and over again about the degradation of American society. You can't have the woke agenda in schools. You can't teach kids this. You can't teach kids that. Well, that's exactly what they say in the Islamic countries, and they don't let you, because if you try to teach kids these things, this part of your body will be separated from this part of your body. So it makes no sense. You're supporting the opposites, and it's insanity. It's the madness. They've twisted you so much through media, through propaganda, through, oh, well, these people are bad and they hate America. And these people, have you seen America lately? Have you seen the depravity of the people shitting on sidewalks in San Francisco? Needles everywhere. People, grown men wearing thongs and shaking their thing in front of little kids at parties. Yeah. Keep supporting America. I support America of the past. The memory of my beloved America. The time when I grew up, when those things didn't happen. And if they did, they were swiftly dealt with. Just like they are in other places where they speak languages written in squiggly shit. All right? But I digress. And you may see a commercial in here. I apologize. For some reason, it won't let me slide up and down. It gave me three choices. Conservative amount of advertisements. It gave me, oh, by the way, we're monetized again for now. It gave me a choice of conservative amount, which is very small, the smallest it'll let. It gave me three choices: conservative, balanced, which who knows what balanced means by them, or a lot. So I just clicked the least amount because it wouldn't let me scroll up for some reason. The left is for big government, but then they pay the least in taxes statistically. All right. They get, they protest about government overreach all the time. Why would you want big government and then protest that you've got big government? That's insanity. Okay. The right, small government. We want small government. But you don't say crap when stuff's going on. You keep your head down. I'm just going to mind my business. I'm going to plug along. I'm going to go to work, and I'm going to keep funding big government. Stop. The left screams inclusion, diversity, and inclusion. But they are intolerant of everything. All right? They divide everything. You have the NAACP, which in and of itself is exclusive. All right. You have LGBT. There's them, and then there's us. TV. Look at TV. We have specific TV. There's just for, are you Mexican? Here's your TV channel. Are you black? Here's your TV channels. Pick. But if you're not one of the minorities, you don't get a channel, because all the channels are yours except for these two or three or four. No, it doesn't work like that. You're creating division. Makes no sense. The right. The right wants conservative values. We need good old-fashioned American values. But you'll tolerate everything. You've tolerated yourself into oblivion. As you sow, so shall you reap. The left, open borders, but not in my neighborhood. The right, closed border. Well, if you want the border closed, you wouldn't be sending soldiers all over the world to do other shit. You'd bring them home and put them down there. All right? Because after all, it's not the left that's funding soldiers. It's not the left that's funding the military. It's conservatives. Because we go to work. So hold your people accountable. The left is pro-choice. The right, predominantly pro-life. Both of them have this in common, except in other places. All right? For example, the left is pro-choice, except in Gaza. It's okay to terminate kids, just as long as they're not little Palestinian ones. You're committing atrocities. The right is pro-life. You can't kill kids unless they're Palestinian ones. Then it's okay because they're brown and they don't talk the same as you and me. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The madness. You have to be an insane person to not see this. You have to be insane. People say, oh, Rob, some people get mad at me. You're anti-American. No, I'm anti-dumb shit. All right? I'm anti-hypocrisy. I'm anti-woke. I'll give you that. I'm definitely anti-woke. I'm pretty conservative in my views because I believe that nothing in life is free. In some way, shape, or form, someone pays for something. And you should pay for everything you get, whether it be through money or through your work or through your time, whatever. You should earn everything that you have. That's the philosophy of Rob. All right? If you want it, earn it. If you don't got it, you didn't want it. All right? All the time, people, oh, Rob, man, I wish I had a truck like that. A pickup, that's a nice pick. I wish I had. Well, wishing is not going to give you shit. Go work for it. Oh, no, I can't do, I don't want to do what you do. Oh, there it is. You don't want to. You don't want to. You want to wish upon a star. You want somebody to give you some shit. No. Welcome to life. Nobody owes you anything. Anything. I don't care who you are. Nobody owes me nothing. Not a dang thing. All right? And you aren't better than me. So if they don't owe me anything, they don't owe you anything. All right? So, Newspeak. Pay attention to Newspeak. Now, I know we're off the left-right paradigm for right now for a second. Newspeak. I know a lot of you saw earlier this week that the young airman lit himself on fire outside of the Israeli embassy. And I had some people that just were like, I don't care. Said some very bad things about that kid, mean things. There were some people that said some positive things about that. Here's how I want you to look at it the way Rob looks at it. Was this kid woke? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you look at his belief systems, he was woke. All right. He was woke. However, as I've said before, there's good and there's bad. And when you I don't care what your view is. All right. If you are going to protest or make a statement, however you make it, that is against killing innocent children, I'm on your side for that specific argument. We don't have to agree on everything all the time, but for that specific argument, I'm on your side. All right. You're making a statement about little kids being killed. I don't care if the kids listen, I don't care if little kids speak. May I have some more soup, sir? Speak English like that, like the Queen's English, or if the kids are from some jungle in Africa going, I don't care. You shouldn't kill little kids. You shouldn't. You should. And so if you're going to make a political statement that help bring attention to the fact that little kids are being killed a lot, then I'm on your side for that. All right. And that is a sucky way. The fact that he was able to articulate free Palestine multiple times while on fire shows you the depths of his resolve. Here's another thing, a warning. You're hearing it here first because I've heard no one speak about this. That's the beginning. That's the second time it's happened in this country. Now, please pay attention. Listen to this. It could save your life. It's only going to get worse because when people with that level of resolve will do that to themselves, it's only a matter of time until they do stuff like that that takes out a lot of people with them. My brothers and sisters who have been downrange in Iraq, Afghanistan, other places around the world know what I'm talking about. When they start putting on the vest with the clicker, shit's going to get real. All right? So think about that. Yes, that young man was woke as shit. Okay? He supported the Rainbow Mafia and everything else. But in that instant, that cause, that one specific cause that he was bringing attention to, he was not in the wrong based off of what the facts on the ground say. I don't care if you're for this country or for that country. I don't care about the governments involved. I care about the fact that there are people murdering children today around the world, specifically in that Gaza Strip. I don't care if you want to, don't come on my channel and come into the comments and try to justify that, oh, well, something happened 3 months ago, so they're bombing 15,000, 20,000 kids today. No. They've killed over 30,000 Gazans. Okay. The entire Hamas network was almost 30,000. So either they've killed almost all of Hamas with only a few casualties, or they've killed some of Hamas with a lot of civilian casualties. And if they did that, if we did that shit when we were in Iraq or Afghanistan, which sometimes that our missiles did shit like that, but if we intentionally on the ground did that shit, we would be in Leavenworth. Leavenworth, maximum security prison. All right. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. We're either going to have standards. All right. You've seen, if some of you seen my Facebook page, with the guy feeding the other guy into the wood chipper, it's like, because, wood chipper, because don't touch kids. What's the difference between sticking your tallywhacker in a little kid or putting a bullet in a little kid? Either way, you're doing serious harm to little kids. Better to have a millstone around your neck. So don't come on there on my channel trying to justify why we're sanctioning and arming people that are killing kids. We have precision weaponry nowadays. We can bring a missile through your window and drop it in your Cocoa Puffs. Okay? We can do that shit. So there's no reason that there's mass bombardment of children. Now let's hop into chat and see what's going on. Hey, D. Khalik, how are you? Glad you can be here. Thank you for being here. Josh B. Quahu in the house, my man. I assume you're a man. If I'm wrong, let me know. I believe you're a dude. I mean, Quahu, it sounds like a male name to me. Okay, awesome. She's on there like, don't misgender me, bro. I don't give you. But awesome. Quahu, if that is your real name, what region of the world is it from? If you wouldn't mind type it in there, because I'm curious about that. Handy, Teresa Buchanan, how you doing? Teresa in the house, Savage Lee. Count Vlad says, yeah, when you look into the abyss stares back. Hopi, word for eagle. Okay, awesome, cool. See, I learned something new today. See, because I would have thought it was, don't take us the wrong way, I would have thought it was like West African, okay? Like I said, with my buddy Agi Mandua of the Mandua tribe, Kwahu, it sounds West African. But okay, Hopi, copy, tracking on the native in the house. Oh, if none of you have seen, Native Voice has a new, he got a new little warrior. All right, so go over to his channel and congratulate him. Michigan Outpost in the house. Hey, how you doing, brother? Savagely, Israel, we're going to get our hostages 1 week later. Why are we carpet bombing? Yeah. And matter of fact, I was showing someone today, a young man. He's a very, very intelligent young man. And when I say young, he's like, I don't know, 19. But we were talking about the Middle East conflicts, Russia, everything like that. And I pulled up a map of the Ottoman Empire, circa 1910, I think, 1900, somewhere around there. And I showed him how the whole area said Palestine, the whole area of the map. And so because, he's like, what everybody on the news says there was never a Palestinian territory. I'm like, there or no place named called Palestine. I'm like, I said, where do Canadians come from? He said, Canada. I said, where do Mexicans come from? He said, Mexico. I said, where do Russians come from? He said, Russia. I said, where do Palestinians come from? And he just looked at me and he was like, well, yeah. I said, you think the name just came out of thin air? But nobody likes to, let's not focus on reality and facts. Let's focus on the mainstream media. Now, I understand religious beliefs vary on that region in the world. However, I also know that people tend to corrupt and co-opt things. So, anybody who's in the house is like, oh, well, the Bible says to support Jerusalem or Israel. What Israel? What Israel? Israel the people or Israel the government entity? Because I'm pretty sure it's talking about the people. The people. You support America. Which America? America from 1970s, 1950s, America from 1780s. Which America are you supporting? The one America that had slavery, America that offers child sacrifice in the form of abortion clinics. Which America are you supporting? Think. Be a free thinker. Use your mind. All right. Don't blindly follow. All right. Things change. Governments change. People in them change. All right. But right now, Israel, woke AF. Woke AF. You can look it up. They're not even hiding it. All right. Pride events, everything like that. Does that sound like the Israel of the Bible to you? Doesn't sound like it to me. So there's that. Rob, I've been reading my Bible a lot more from what's going on. The end of times is near. Maybe. It may be, Josh B. The end of times, it might be like a thief in the night. Could be next month, could be next year, could be 10 years, could be 100, 200, 300 years. I don't know. All I know is that there is a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. And we're going to talk about a lot of that later on. I believe 8 o'clock is the next live stream. We're going to be talking about the speech. In fact, I'm about halfway through Vladimir Putin's speech because I don't like to take the news bit segments. I want to watch and see what he says for myself with my own eyeballs and with my own ear holes, hear and see what he says. That way, because if you're getting it from the source, it's harder for them to manipulate it. Makes sense? Tracking like a tank, Rob. Stole his shit. You know who his is. No. I agree with some of the things he says, but not everything he says. And that would be Bear Independent. Great medical gear. But there is a lot that's going on in the, here's one thing we can talk about that we can talk about later too. I'll bring back up is that in the 21st of February, the HMS Vanguard test fired a intercontinental ballistic missile, and it didn't work. It crashed in the ocean right by Florida. And people are like, and when you hear that, you're thinking, oh my God, it came across the ocean. No, it didn't, because I looked into it. It crashed very near where the HMS Vanguard launched it. Like it went up and bam, into the water. So what was the HMS Vanguard doing in Florida? I don't know, but I know that Kings Bay, Georgia is just across the Florida-Georgia state line, Florida-Georgia line, and there's a huge nuclear weapon stockpile there for submarines. So was it getting some new stuff? But I don't know. Was it replenishing something? I don't know. They said something about it being retrofitted. Don't know what that means. It just means something was changed or upgraded. But I know that that missile failed. And then they proceeded to say it's the second in a row time that they failed to be able to launch a weapon system, a nuclear missile. It had a dummy warhead on it. But it was the second time in 8 years, because they've tried it twice in 8 years. This last time on the 21st and in 2016. And both times they had failure to launch. All right. I mean, it came out and it crashed into the water very near. And when we talk about Newspeak, for definition of Newspeak is designed to diminish the range of thought. So this is what I mean by Newspeak. Both tests of their Trident nuclear weapons tests failed. And the news report states, and I quote, "The operation reaffirmed the effectiveness of the UK's nuclear deterrent, that the submarine and crew were successfully certified to be ready for operation, but an anomaly occurred that was event-specific." That sounds like they're capable, but if you actually take into what happened and couple with that, the operation reaffirmed the effectiveness of the UK's nuclear deterrent. It reaffirmed that they can't launch nuclear weapons. That's what it did. And they still successfully certified. Oh, stupid shit makes my brain hurt. I'm sorry. Oh, you're behind my 17 minutes? Yeah, it's monetized again. I don't know, but it won't only give me 3 options. Now, it was weird when I set up the second stream, it allowed me to choose, if I wanted to monetize it at all. And I was like, well, I'll just keep it on here because honestly, I'm going to keep it on the lowest one. And I was trying not to put it on there, but I noticed if I go to my analytics on how the video is doing that, and you can go look at the other ones that were monetized before, and then when they demonetized me, and then when they did, and when they remonetized me, and I chose to not monetize it during live streams, they just like put the brakes on it. They're like, oh, if we don't get no money, you don't get no money. We're going to stop on it. And you ain't going to get no views. So I apologize for that, but I'm trying to keep them as minimal as possible. Kentucky Survival in the house. Stray Kitten. Okay, just heard that Stray Kitten. As in channel. Well, I saw something. Somebody said ads and stuff. I see the chat's moving and I didn't see it. And I can't get onto it because it won't let me. Oh, let me try to. There we go. Oh, no. There's a little thing. Do I get it? I can't get it. Shit. Okay, there we go. Let's see. 1984. Yes, Dynamite. It was a British ship. It was a British ship off the coast of Florida. And like I said, there is a submarine base there. And also, there's a submarine base at the Florida-Georgia state line. And this is all open source information, so I'm not telling any big secrets. There's nuclear weapons, Kings Bay, Georgia. All right, lots of them. That's why when I'm on 95 and I'm going past Kings Bay, Georgia, I try to go through that area as fast as possible because I don't trust anybody and accidents happen. All right. And I don't want to glow when I pee. So there's that. But there are also Cape Canaveral has subs that come in and out from time to time. Again, not classified information, but they do, which is where they launch rockets for space. Okay. Oh my God, Reverend, there you go. Why am I getting flipped to ads in an ad channel? See, if I'd have caught that in time when you said that, I would have just froze, pause talking, and wait for you to suffer through that or be able to click skip. I want an emoji that says ads in some big like yellow thing where you can just click that emoji and pop it up when one pops up, and I can be like, and freeze like that. Declick, you're not seeing any ads. Well, good. Hopefully they're only on some. All right. Well, I hope this makes you think. I hope that's the whole purpose. The whole purpose of me writing all these things down and going through lists, make you think, well, wait a second, why am I supporting this? Or why am I supporting that? And if you see, oh, well, it is okay to change your mind about things. Just because I've met so many people that, why do you vote this way? Because I vote Republican because my great granddaddy voted Republican, and we all vote Republican. I vote Democrat because my great grandmommy voted Democrat. But your views don't reflect those views. Well, it don't matter. I vote blue no matter who, and I vote red till I'm dead. Free think, all right? Free think. Think for yourself, and come up with, a lot. If you can justify why you're supporting that, then justify. It's like that kid, Aaron Bushnell, that set himself on fire. I promise you, there is nothing else that I have heard, read, or seen about this young man that I would have supported ever. In fact, if the Civil War had happened before he self-emulated, we would have been on opposite sides. He would have, I'm American. Yeah, but what kind of American are you? All right. Like that. All right. But on that one topic, yeah, I can't be like, oh, he was wrong. But I mean, do not ever set yourself on fire. Okay. That is dumb. That is dumb. I mean, I respect his commitment. I respect that young man's commitment. But don't listen, rednecks. Liberals, don't set yourself on fire. My redneck brothers and sisters out there, my hardworking right-leaning conservative people, don't get mad and punch holes in your drywall or punch wood or concrete. You're just going to hurt yourself. It's always better, okay? Don't burn yourself up, you on the left. And don't hurt yourself by doing stupid shit and hitting shit and kicking shit. Oh, Jack Daniels died because he got angry and kicked his safe. Did you know that? He broke his toe and an infection set in. That's how Jack Daniels died. Fun, weird fact. I just threw it out there for you. But focus that shit on the problem. Take that anger, focus it, harness it, focus it, and direct it at something that will actually make a change for the better for your side. And if that causes a civil war breakout, then it happens. All right? Nothing lasts forever. Salty dog, you don't destroy your own. Yes. I can't tell you. Listen, like I always post this meme because my brother, God rest his soul, I'd always tag him in it because it said people that call themselves kings and queens have holes in their drywall. And that was Bubba. I go to Bubba be in a house, he'd just move in. And 3 weeks later, I'm like, why is there a hole in the cabinet? Like in the kitchen. Oh, I got mad, Bubba. And she pissed me off. And I just, That's dumb. That's dumb shit. Don't do that. Don't do dumb shit. All right. Oh, Guns Coast to Coast. How you doing? Last month's Middle East experts and last week's Ukraine experts are now this week's sociology experts. Well, there you go. Yeah. I'm not an expert. I know that I don't know a lot. But it's just confusing me when I see shit that goes against like all those things I just listed today. It's like, why? And liberals, let me tell you something. If you're a liberal and you're watching this, if you made it to the end, congratulations. You have the patience of Job. All right. You have tolerance. You are a very tolerant, intolerant person. All right. But if you made it to the end, let me tell you, you can support Islam. I'd appreciate that. Muslims would appreciate that. Christians would end up appreciating that eventually, because they're the Islamic community is very hyper conservative at its core. But they've got a neat strategy where the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Yeah. Or if you don't like something and you'll lure them in, they'll say, hey, you're sticking up for me. Come here. Dearborn, Michigan was very liberal. Not so much today. Huh? See, they're smart. They'll crawl in and then they'll just take over, which is what Christians should have done with the liberals and first stop being we'll tolerate. Yes, come on in. We're tolerant. No. But which it's a good thing because it's spreading conservatism, and I approve. All right, but you're just going to go the way of the dodo eventually. All right, because unlike modern Christianity, if you poke that bear, the Islamic bear, it will bite your head off. That's why you leave them people alone. You leave them alone. Because when the book says, if they attack you, you attack them back. Yep. It happens a lot. All right. And in the Christian book, y'all pretty much just forget that Old Testament stuff. We're gonna turn cheeks. Well, you turn cheeks. You turn your cheek, you're gonna get shot in the ass. Just saying. It happens all the time. That's why Texas is now blurple. All right? It's not red. It's blurple. All right. The algorithm needs fed. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bernard Trey. I mean, I'm sure. But, the whole auto industry collapse in Michigan, Detroit, all the stuff in Dearborn. I mean, it's all, but you give it's an Islamic stronghold. And at the end of the day, they will ultimately police their own. They will. And they will push all liberalism out. They will. And then after it's all out, then you'll start to see improvement. Okay? But it will happen. It will, mark my words. It will happen. And liberals aren't smart enough to see that, which I smile about. Make me smile. Not a lot of things. A lot of things make me smile. My kids make me smile. But and you know what? And that's why I said back to the conservative values versus liberal values. They support each other, and the others hate each other, and it makes no sense. It makes no sense. So, all right. Thank you all for being here. Russia Orthodox, Russia Decalique, Russia Orthodox Christians, and they, yes. If you Have any of you actually taken the time to watch any of the videos from the front, the YouTube videos from the front lines on the Russian-Ukraine side? It doesn't matter, on the Russian. Let's focus on the Russian side. Have you seen Russian soldiers making their own YouTube videos, laughing and giggling? And when they speak, I've watched a few of them. They were laughing and stuff like that, and withdrawing and diving in trenches. And there were a bunch of them that were speaking Arabic. Probably from Chechnya, probably. But you have Islamic freedom fighters fighting next to Orthodox Christians against a common enemy of wokeness in the West. I mean, if we did that here, if Christians and Muslims and Jewish people, not Israel, not the government Israel, the wokeness, but Orthodox Jews, hardcore Jews, if those three came together, just crush wokeness. I mean, crush it. Absolutely. Yeah, Quahu, ain't seen nothing like that since back in World War II. I mean, I'm not sure. It wasn't Hopi, but the Wind Talkers. You had literally people that were Native American tribes and belief systems. You had Christians, you had Jews, you had Muslims, all coming together to fight a common enemy. We'll get there one way or another. All right. Thank you all for being here. Share this, hit the like, do the thumbs up, subscribe if you want to chat. If you can't chat, if you're like, I can't chat, it's because you're not subscribed. All right. And I put it on 20 minutes. I thought about making it longer because, I don't want people just hopping in here, just, what are you making a comment, causing up problems, and then bouncing away. They know you're here. They know you're watching. The minute you click on it, if you pause too long when you're going through YouTube, here's a fun fact. If you're scrolling through YouTube and you pause over a video and you're just reading it, you don't even got to click on it. You're just reading it. The algorithm tracks that. That caught you. Oh, he paused for 7 seconds on that. It tracks it. So they already know what you're looking at. They already know what you're interested in. And that's how AI is going to work in the future. It's going to put all that shit together in predictive programming. All right. So they already know you're here. Militant Roots, thank you for being here. Still 3 minutes behind. Well, we're going to end this. We're going to call it a day because I got to be back on here in like 2 hours because we're going to talk about nuclear Armageddon. Thank you all for being here. Good night. God bless. My baby shark's daddy loves you, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm out.